All right, so you have this, introduce yourself, say about anything you want to say about the films, you saw it on the big screen for the first time, and about the BraveMaker experience. Go for it.
Hi, I'll go first. Hi, I'm Adrienne DeSantis. I have my amazing family and my best friend and her mother here, so I just wanted to shout out to them. They came to support me, so thank you so much for coming. We started the BraveMaker. I'm also part of the BraveMaker Board of Directors. I'm also an actor and so honored to be part of BraveMaker, and thank you all for being here. But the BraveMaker Academy, it's so amazing, and these guys are going to talk more about it, but like Tony said, we got to, he's our teacher. He wrote all three of these. These are all Tony's amazing words.
Besides the balls and the, the hairy balls. That was a little ad lib, but that's fine.
I thought that was you.
I'm not that good. I don't know.
Oh my God, that's
we got to give Art some credit.
Anyway, yeah, so I'm Adrienne. It's great to be here.
My name is Art. I guess I'm the ball guy. I'm known as that.
Also, one of our theater managers with Nadia. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Nadia, for this part. But I'm sorry if I ramble on. I'm a little lost for words because I was just up there watching myself on the theater screen, and I just had a dream come true. Like today will be a day where a dream came true, and it's all thanks to these amazing people. It's all thanks to BraveMaker. It's all thanks to people like you guys, friends of mine that I know and love. I see you up there. Love you guys. And so just trying to hold back the emotions a little bit, but
don't hold them back. But
instead I'm gonna let it out a little bit and just say that is what I told Tony. Like BraveMaker for me was a life changer. And the reason why I went that far is not just because of what it did for me, but because of what it does for everybody else and what it shows it can do for everybody else. Because he was right. This is different. I mean, you can go anywhere to get acting training, acting classes, learning about acting. You know, the do's and don'ts, the history and everything. But here, you do all that, and then you get to work. And then you actually get to experience it. You actually get to film. You actually get to be a part of something this special and something like this. And all of a sudden you realize that you're doing what you always wanted to do, not just learning about it, not just going there and getting the training and the teaching. So this is it's unique. And nowadays you probably hear that saying he different. And that's what this is. Tony's different. This is different. It's unique and it's special. And again, before I start rambling on again, I'll just leave it at that because I saw it with my own eyes, and you guys saw it with your own eyes, and it really is that special. So yeah, so thanks, man.
I sound like a cult leader, though. So let's be careful.
My name is Amrit Hansra. I'm one of Tony's followers. He's the cult leader. No, this is a very surreal moment, and thank you, everybody, for partaking in this with us. I was introduced to Tony and BraveMaker not too long ago, 6-7 months ago, and this is truly a special organization. And the academy that Tony has created is very, very unique. Again, this is a very surreal moment. Actually, my full-time job, I'm a full-time physician, and this is
Dr. Hansra.
This has been a long time. This has been a wish of mine for a very long time. And one aspect when we go through our medical training is we go through this residency training program where you basically have a mentor, somebody who teaches you the ways, and you're under their supervision, and that's the best way to learn. And that's essentially what Tony has recreated in the acting field. It's a very safe place. We are able to make choices, make decisions with his mentorship, with his direction, and we are able to make mistakes, we're able to learn, we're able to grow, and we're able to do it in a real-time environment. And we get to create amazing films like this. So thank you guys for being here. Again, very surreal moment. Thank you, Tony. Thanks, everybody.
If anybody wants to ask any questions, I would love to share, but let me just real quickly say this was our very first session, the ones you're seeing here. We did a second session where we filmed some other scenes, and we brought up Christine Weatherup, who was just virtually with us for our pitch session. Christine is an actor. You can look up Christine Weatherup, and she has a feature film called See You Next Christmas on Peacock, but we flew her up basically, we paid her enough to get her here, food and lodging, and she wrote and directed an original short film for all of these actors too. It was so beautiful. So my vision is to grow this. Like, I don't want to be the center of all these things. I'm trying to find other people. I'm trying to train new directors. Selfishly, I want to write, I want to direct, I want to produce. And in between trying to raise my money for my next feature film and all these other things, I thought, this academy, I'm getting my wishes and dreams fulfilled by writing and directing. I'm still learning with all these actors, because acting in a class is very, very different than acting on set. I've been in classes for quite some time, and you have all this time to process and work and rehearse and do your scenes. But when you're on set, sometimes you get one take. That's it, and it's rushed, and there's lights, and you have to deal with a lav, and oh my gosh, you're in the wrong wardrobe, and you're sweaty, and we got to do this again. That's very different than doing it in a class. So that's the heart behind the academy, is to train actors by making films. Does anybody have any questions about the experience or about what we're trying to do? Right now, we just have one Wednesday a week that we are offering, just because I need more resources to be able to scale this, and we're trying to grow it. But I think we have something eventually that we could make, and be able to hire more people once revenue starts coming in for it. And we're also looking for other executive producers. Like, you could tell some of the sound needed some help. That's because we didn't have sound designers. No, Pilmy was, I think, the best sounding one of that, dude. So could have been better, sure. But we all were doing multiple hats on those things, right? Imagine if we had resources to do that. Any questions or comments on their work? Yeah, go ahead. Is that Tevin?
Yes.
Hi.
Great job. You guys are super proud of everything you guys did. Definitely good to see there was a lot of work and dedication for it. So for the acting classes on Wednesday, do you do auditions, or they just come in and sign up, or?
We now are auditioning, yes. So so we have a form people fill out, because this last session, I'm still trying to figure it out. It's just I'm juggling so many things. But we had people who'd never taken an acting class ever, and being able to communicate hey, we're going to write something for your level. You might just be grunting in the scene. You might just be having one word, but you need to learn and get practice. You're not going to get a lead role right away. So we're trying to figure out creating tiers: beginner, intermediate, advanced. But right now we're taking 10 students for our next session, which starts in September. And yeah, you have to submit an audition tape, and we're going to kind of figure out from there. But eventually we'll have more nights so we could do more actors. Yeah. Thank you for asking. Cool. Any other comments or questions?
Nothing from any of the DeSantis'
Hey,
followers up there?
Go ahead. I can't see hands, but just shout it out. Shout it out.
Amy.
Yeah, hi.
I'll ask a question. I know most of you, or some of you. What week of the class do you get your script in terms of when you start memorizing it?
Great question. Who wants to respond to that?
I think we just had a week, didn't we?
It's variable. The first session, second session. So whenever Tony's inspiration strikes, and the first session we had a couple of weeks for one of the films, and then I think there's a week or two for the other. So it just varies. And I think he had some rough kind of ideas to begin with, so we started playing around with characters to begin with. And then so we started breaking down and, what is the motivation of the character before, and I think we had a solid week at the very least to memorize lines.
And it was sort of similar to being on set in the sense that, we didn't get, it's not like we got multiple takes or anything like that, because we did it all in one night.
Yeah. So
it was kind of shoot it a couple of times and then do your close-up, and then we got to move on, So, which was awesome. I have a question for Tony. So the other two films that we did, when are we going to get to see those?
So the second session, this was fun for me because I want to write TV. I'm writing and creating TV. It's kind of my dream to do that. So the second session, we did scenes from the after party of J is for Jackson. So we find out a little bit more about what happens with Jackson and Misha and Thomas, and that was really fun. So now we're editing those scenes. So they're still in post-production, and Sophia Pistoni, one of our interns, is actually editing those right now. We're hoping to have something at the end of July. And the other short film, which is it's untitled, but I think it's going to be called Better Off Ed, is being edited by Kyla, our other intern, and I don't think we haven't even started that yet. So, yeah. I was going to say real quick about the casting process. Sometimes you do. If you're an actor, you get an audition, you're on set in a day. Sometimes you're on set in a month. So it's always different. So that's another cool thing. And if you're lucky enough to get on a television show, you're getting to work and develop these characters. You know, if season 1, you have, you know, what you have on the page, but then maybe season 2, season 3, you're being able to inform that because the writers are getting to know you. I'm excited. I'm writing a different Pilmy short. I want to see different characters. How did Melody get there? So, and do we see Chelsea and Thomas mind wiped in another space? So I'm playing around with that too, which is really fun for me.
And that short's probably going to be called Suppository.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor. Go ahead. Shout it out. Shout it out. Yeah, just go. Shout it out.
Oh, me?
Yes.
Where are you guys located? Where do you actually meet?
In Redwood City, we have a studio. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, more information than in Redwood City.
Yes, it's we shoot in a church actually, like a I don't want to say abandoned, but yeah, like
It's a church that just really has Sunday gatherings that is rented out for other organizations and spaces.
yeah, and we make use of what we got. We've for Pilmy, there was an office next door. Who was it for?
There's another church that has an office space, and I always say, can I shoot there? Like, yeah, anytime you want.
Yeah.
There's an industrial kitchen because it's a church, so we get to shoot there. We shot in a church bathroom for the Pilmy, for the Jays for Jackson. So it's really neat. There's a cafe that's there, so we have all these kind of like little nooks and crannies that we can use, almost like sets, which is kind of fun.
Yes, and yeah, all around Redwood City too.
Shout them out. Yeah, you can just, you don't have to raise your hand.
So, Tony, you mentioned that for the second upcoming classes, actors have to audition if they're interested.
Yeah.
Correct? For the actors on the panel right now, did you have to audition as well, or to get into BraveMaker Academy?
I can just tell you no because we didn't know what the heck we were doing. They just signed up and we rolled with it.
Yeah, for those who want to audition for the academy, will the script be given to them, or can they perform?
Yeah, I have a form people will fill out, and they'll do a commercial audition, and then they'll have a 3-page scene. And I'm totally open for people to do their, well, maybe I shouldn't be, but I have said that people could pick their own scene in audition. Yeah.
Will it be in person?
No, self-tape. Yeah, which is also to see where people are, you know, because some people, like, if I see maybe you can't self-tape or unwilling, then that might not be the right time for you to jump in this class. Maybe you need to take another class somewhere else. And I'm still trying to figure that out because we want to do work that people can feel proud about and put on their reels and give, you know, challenging scenes to some of our actors, because right now we have been taking all levels, and I'm just trying to figure out and navigate it with the 1 week that we have. Eventually, you know, we're talking about Adrian as our board member about in January starting a beginner class, but we just have to make space. We're a small, scrappy nonprofit with champagne, dreams, and beer budget kind of stuff going on.
And then to expand upon that question about us not auditioning to begin with, everything was from the ground up. Everything was brand new. I've told Tony this before. This is going to turn into a beast. This is, I mean, what his vision is and what this class has already done. This is going to get out of hand for him very quickly. So I'm 100%.
Tell them why.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Tell them why it's going to get for people that aren't.
Oh yeah, it is, and kind of alluding to what I said before, is this is such a unique opportunity to learn acting, to learn the craft, to have scene partners, to break characters down, and then to have a final product. I mean, this is amazing. This is, again, this is the 4th time I'm using this, I've counted. This is a very surreal moment to be able to see yourself on a big screen. And to do all of this in an acting class, I've done classes before, a few of them before this. And, you know, I had the mentality of, oh, we're breaking down a commercial the next week. Did I actually memorize the lines? No, because did I really need to? No. But the very first, I messed up a line so bad in Pilmy over and over and over again. And I'm so hard on myself. As I'm watching these 20 people standing around me, I told myself, I'm never going to mess, it probably will happen, but at least on my accord, I have to memorize my lines. I have to be solid. And this is the experiences that is allowing me to realize that. That's why this is going to turn into a beast.
Can I also add on to that? I know this is more about the actors, but in terms of the crew, I also learned a ton, a absolute ton. I just graduated high school. I'm 18. So I've been limited in my experience with doing cinematography gigs. So at least for these, I'll try not to get too nerdy with this, but I've been able to experiment with a lot more like wide shots, especially you saw a lot with that. A lot of my older work was a lot of close-ups because one, I had this dinky little camera that only had a 50mm lens. If anybody has cameras, you know what I mean. But now I have this guy.
Black
This is what
Magic.
we shot it on, by the way. This little guy. So I've been rigging it up as I get money, the small amounts of money I make from occasional gigs, and I put it right into that guy.
Hold it up again.
Yeah. So this is nerdy stuff again. Blackmagic Pocket 4K. I bought it back in September, and I think this is why Tony keeps giving me the gigs, because I'm the only one around here who will do it for free, and I have a cinema camera. Yeah. It's my first professional camera, but BraveMaker has given me the chance to actually like learn how to use this by doing. You know, like you can watch as many YouTube tutorials as you want, but being on a set and working with actors and working under a time frame is like nothing else. You learn so much about it, and I've learned so much just fucking up myself too, to be honest, on a couple of these things, and screwing up and learning and getting better as I go along, you know. So, yeah.
And we sometimes have DPs like Jerome Stolley. So you saw Jerome Stolley was in the credits. He was there for Pilmy. And he is a professional full-time cinematographer. And he's shot a bunch of my films. And it was so cool a couple times when I was shooting a film. I said, Gabriel, come on, you're going to assist Jerome and learn from Jerome along the way. And it's been so amazing, dude. Like, that's part of what, again, we're not even realizing, but we're creating a film school, too, in a way.
Exactly. Jerome's awesome. I just shot with him. Was it Monday?
Monday.
We did something for someone named Tara for a proof of concept. And he just hopped me on. And I was just, while we were waiting around, because we had to do a time lapse, I was just nerding out about film stuff, asking him all the little juicy details, and it was just so fun, you know.
If anybody else wants to nerd out, Jerome will be here tomorrow night at 7 p.m.
I will also nerd out with you too.
Yeah. Are you gonna go to the workshop? You need to go to the workshop.
Of course, yes.
7
Of course.
p.m.
No, I'm gonna like pretty much run it, man. Like,
Okay, cool. 7 p.m. in the Hub tomorrow night. One of our last workshops with Jerome and DP named gaffer named Matthew. Okay, we have time for one more comment or question, and then we're out of here. Anybody else want to share anything? Any of you actors want to say?
I'm so proud of my best friend up there, Adrian and Sam.
My girl.
Okay, when Gabriel was editing this, I was sitting with him. We said the moment when she sits in there, she's like, what kind of practice is this? I was like, girl, that's gold. That's gold right there.
Oh my God. No, he like loved it.
I love that part. That's got to go on your reel. So yeah.
Tony, I looked over at my mom when we were watching it just now, because they obviously haven't seen it, when I forget what part it was, when she realized like what was going on, and I look over, I didn't get a picture, she's going like this. That was awesome, Mom.
Well, you should be so proud of your work.
You should be proud.
Thank you. I really am. All should be proud. Give it up for everybody. Give it up for our media team. Give it up for you. Do you want to say anything? I saw you bring your thing.
No.
Okay. All right. BraveMaker Academy. If you want more information, you can find us at BraveMaker.com. Email me, Tony at BraveMaker.com. We're on the socials, all that kind of stuff, BraveMaker.org. Come back here 6:45 for Bad Things Happen in Philadelphia. We look forward to meeting you. And I have our theater manager going, don't forget, we are a nonprofit, okay? 31 people are donors every month. Last year, I said 23, so I was looking at all our old stuff. We only grew by 8 people since last year, because there was 23 people. I mean, that's good. Growth is good. But 31, we need more. We need to triple that, because we're going to do big stuff. We can make some really great films. My dream, I threw it out there, who knows? Maybe we make a feature film with the BraveMaker Academy. Who knows? You could have your name on it.
donate so they can pay me.
And that's all, folks. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much.